Today on Monson Made This, it is 6 days later, pickles are done. Thank you for coming back. This is part 2 of the lacto-fermentation video. Last time I set everything up and we let it go, and it is now 6 days later and we are ready to try what we have fermented. So if you can see here, I've got a bunch of things covered by a towel. It's because you really need to keep the jars in a dark place in order to help them ferment. So I've just kept a towel on them, and they've actually been on top of my fridge. It's been about 71 degrees in the house the entire time. So I think we're okay with 6 days. If I taste anything and don't think it's sour enough, then I'm definitely going to put it back up for another day. So let's see how they look. First one we're going to look at is this large jar, and this is the fermenting jar from Farmsteady, and it has this valve. Now it's cloudy, which is kind of what we want. Also the pickles or the cucumbers have gotten a little bit faded, which is also optimal. The only issue that I really had with this one was that water or the brine was coming up into this, so I'm guessing that I got this a little bit too full, so I'm hoping everything is okay. There was some water that actually came out on top of this during the process. So let's take the lid off. We're not seeing any mold or anything funky on top here, so that is a good sign. This one also comes with the glass weight, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that off as well. And it looks like we have some pickles here, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this out here, and I'm just going to put everything into a bowl to begin with, and then I'll taste everything at the end. So that is the pickles. It smells amazing. It smells like dill and garlic and onions, and to me, it looks just like a pickle, so I'm excited to give that one a taste. Let's go ahead and see these other ones. These ones were fermented with the silicone lids, and I have to say I didn't have any issue with anything coming out. The kimchi one, which is here, I don't know if you can see it in the video, is a bit raised, so there's some pressure in there. This other kraut one as well, kind of raised up a little bit, but it has gone down. The one here for the jalapeno hot sauce did not raise or bulge at all, but I did not have any explosions or anything like that. So I'm going to put this one aside, and let's open these up and see how they look. Again, we're good on top, no mold, nothing funky, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out the glass beads that I put in here. Whoops, or tried to. These were the weights, and these just, you can wash them. I actually washed them from my carrots in the dishwasher. So, go ahead and take that out. There might be another one in here. There we go. That's the only downside I can see to those glass weights, is the fact that you might lose them. So let's go ahead and pull a little bit of this kraut out, so we can give it a taste. And make sure to use a clean fork anytime you go in here. You don't want to introduce any other bacteria into these jars. And then to store this, you can store it just in this jar as it is. I have these really nice plastic lids that I'm going to be using to save these up. Let's open up the kimchi. Looks like we have quite a bit of liquid in here, bit of an explosion, but again, nothing really funky on top. So let's go ahead and take out the weights. And this is the circle of cabbage that we put in just to keep everything under the surface. And this was just a kimchi flavored sauerkraut with onions and some garlic, as well as gochujang and Korean chili paste, or Korean chili flake, excuse me. All right, so we'll give that a taste. All right, I'm gonna give these three a taste, and then we will talk about this one and make the hot sauce. let's give this pickle a taste. It seems pretty legit. It looks just like a pickle, so let's bite in. Pretty good snap. Still has crunch. The flavor is permeated. You taste the garlic, can taste the dill. It's not super sour. Could have maybe can go for a few more days. I might actually have it go for a few more days before putting it in the refrigerator, but it's a really good pickle. The Farm Steady fermenter was great for such a large batch, but you know, it's a little bit clumsy, I think, and I did have some problems with that valve on top. So after this process, I really do prefer the silicone lid. So let's try the sauerkraut. And this is just basically cabbage and salt. That's nice. It's got a fair amount of salt, which I like, but good sourness. This too could maybe go a few extra days, but I think I'm gonna keep this in the fridge because it does tend to ferment a little bit more after it is in the fridge. I made carrots before and talked about them in the last video, and since they've been in the fridge hanging out, I've been eating a ton of them, but they have gotten a little bit more sour. It's really good. Also, next week I will be making a video from the Vegan Roadie, Dustin's cookbook, the Epic Vegan Cookbook, and there's a cheese sauce or two that actually uses sauerkraut, so I'll be using this sauerkraut in that recipe video next week. Kimchi kraut, remember we just kind of shortcutted this, and let's give it a taste. Wow. This one, I'd say, out of all of them, has the stronger fermented flavor. Really good spice. Good like tang and zippiness as well. Wow, that's really good. Really simple. You saw in the last video how I put these together. I will have full video or full recipes linked below for these. And if you have any other suggestions of things that I should ferment or try, because I'm really into this right now, definitely comment below what you think I should ferment next, what would work really well. As well as if you have any recipe ideas for what I can make with the kimchi kraut, the sauerkraut, and these pickles, because I'm going to be making a lot of this now, so I'm interested in recipes that I can use for these. Yeah, so let's go ahead and blend up the hot sauce. That's the last thing we're going to do today, and I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out. So here in this jar we have some habanero. Oh, those are nice bubbles. Habanero pepper, some jalapenos, onion, and garlic. And what I'm going to do here is, again, we're great. We don't have any mold or anything. I can already smell the jalapeno coming through. So I'm going to remove the weights. And then what we're going to need to do is separate the liquid from the jalapenos. And because I'm going to be blending this, I definitely want to be extra careful that I'm getting all of the glass weights out. So I'm going to pour the liquid off into this jar, into this measuring cup, and then I'll put the solids into my magic bullet. And that's just because this liquid is super spicy, and I'm not sure how thin or thick I want to make the hot sauce. Oh, found another glass. I'm not sure how thin or thick I want to make it, so I will be using this liquid to kind of thin it out. Let's put it all in the jar. Smells amazing. Let's start out with maybe about a cup. And then throw it on the blender. All right, the jalapeno hot sauce has been blending for a while. It's really thick, so I'm gonna thin it out quite a bit actually, because I want this, I don't know, not necessarily the texture of like Tabasco, but maybe more like a sriracha texture. So I'm gonna blend this again. I'll probably go for about 30 seconds to a minute because I want to get it really nice and smooth. All right, so that has been blending. Still a little bit of pressure that builds up in there because of the fermentation. And I have this jar here that I'm going to be using. It's just an old hot sauce jar. Now, if you really, really wanted to make this more of like a Tabasco, you could strain it out and get rid of the pulp, but I want to keep that in. I'm going to be using this IKEA funnel here. Really excited to try this hot sauce. I haven't really been buying many chips lately, so I'm just going to be trying it on a piece of tortilla. Seems like it's got a good thickness on here. I might want to blend it up a little bit more, but wow. It's got a kick. Definitely has some spice, but the flavor's there. The salt that's in the brine really brings out the flavors as well. It's, you know how some hot sauces are just hot? This is hot and delicious. I taste the jalapeno, but the habanero definitely brings the heat up. So this is delicious, and it's going to continue to ferment a little bit more while it sits in the fridge, so it'll boost up the flavor as well as it continues. I'll have to bottle up the rest of that. I might even try to do it where I strain it out so that I just get the liquid itself, again, more like a Tabasco style, because those hot sauces are fermented as well. So yeah, let's bring out everything again and I'll say my goodbyes. So with just a few simple ingredients, some salt, water, vegetables, we have some amazing fermented condiments here. We have this jalapeno hot sauce, which is amazing. I have a feeling I'm gonna be putting this on everything, as well as the kimchi and regular kraut. These are gonna be great just on sort of rice bowls, noodle dishes, and even in cheese sauces, as you'll see next week. Lastly here, these pickles. I'm not the biggest pickle person, but I will definitely find some uses for those. They have a delicious flavor, but I do think I am gonna let them ferment a little bit longer. As I said, I really liked those silicone lids. These are also machine washable. If you follow the link below to my Amazon page, you can get these, and so far I'm really impressed. As well, these plastic lids, I prefer these for the wide mouth jars as opposed to the metal ring lids. So I'll have a link for you to buy these as well if you are interested in doing this. Again, comment below what things you're gonna ferment or what things I should do with what I already have fermented here. Thank you for watching. Click subscribe below if you have not already. Also hit the bell notification so that it tells you when my new videos come out. Also, Patreon link is below. That's where you can watch Monson ate this, and I'll be making a little dish here, probably with the kimchi kraut, and I'll have a little eat chat with you over there on Patreon, so make sure you go there and subscribe to that. Thank you again for watching. I will be back next week with another recipe video. Like I said, we'll be cooking from the Epic Vegan Cookbook next week, and I think that's all I have to say. Have a great week. Thank you for watching both of these parts. I'll also have a link to part 1 if you're just watching part 2 now. But yeah, I will see you next time. Goodbye.